Ladies and gentlemen, there was a story that came out that seemed to have very limited information. There was some conflicting information, especially when it came to who was being arrested, who was being charged, because they did not have a picture out there initially, and they definitely did not have an accurate description, which I thought was a little weird. Let me explain what I mean. If somebody hurts a child, if somebody is arrested, in that case, whether they're guilty or not, because they're all going to have their day in court, I still believe that it is important to the community, to the world, to the news, to us as citizens, for us to know who has been arrested. For whatever reason, unless there is just some detrimental reason why they can't release the information and the pictures, I don't know why they don't. And I think that's very weird how we got to wait weeks and months and sometimes years before they finally show a face and say, hey, this is the person that was arrested. But every day you got websites like Just Busted and some of these other websites when people go in for traffic tickets and sweeps and DUIs and stuff like that. And their pictures are put out there all the time. So here's my thing. If anybody is accused of doing something to a child, in my opinion, I don't mind their identity being put out there until they are able to clear their name. I think that's only fair. Do y'all think I'm wrong for saying that? For the people who came for the news, but I don't know if y'all know this, but this ain't the news. If you're on this, the news, what this is me giving my commentary on things that have happened and stuff that the news has reported. So if you came for the story, the individual that you see scrolling across my screen is the person who I believe was the man that was arrested. Trainer and father, and I want y'all to hear this. He is accused of showing the moment he was taken into custody on a gurney. Huh? Now, there's a reason why I'm talking about that, and I also have some video evidence, man, that they had showing on some websites. Matter of fact, for the people who are posting on Facebook that are showing a Mexican man, there's a few reasons, you guys, that information is wrong, and they're putting the wrong face out there. The individual right here, that individual's name is Maurice Taylor Sr., or better known as Maurice J. Taylor Sr., who is 34 years old. Matter of fact, would y'all like to know his middle name? Not that it's super important, but I just think it's a funny fact. Because sometimes with these sad stories, you got to talk about things that are a little bit comical, because what really happened is really, really sad. Now, guys, I know it's buffering about that. If y'all can, please try to deal with it. It's probably just my internet. The internet just does some real wonky stuff, and I'm sorry about that. Soldier Girl, thank you for your donation, Soldier Girl. Thank you, Darcy Ann 66. Definitely. Let me give a shout out to Lynn Eversley. Thank you for your donation. Nobody that don't have a voice. Let me make sure I can say your name on the PayPal. And you have donated you've donated for a while. Let's see. Let me see. Is that Sharon? Sharon in the chat? I don't want to read the amount that you donated out because people be tripping about that stuff. But Sharon, if you are listening, I just got your donation, a very, very awesome donation. And I want to say thank you very much. If you're listening to the sound of my voice, I did get your PayPal, and I wanted to say thank you very much. Thank you, Tori Stalk. I appreciate that. Taylor Sr., Jewel, Jewel. His middle name is Jewel. Not that it matters, but it's a funny fact. Maurice Jewel Taylor thing, but I'm just throwing it out there, okay? Now, he is arrested on Friday for allegedly murdering his daughter, who's 13 years old, and his son, who is 12 years old, and I now have their names. So their names are 12-year-old Maurice Taylor Jr., and the 13-year-old's name is Malika Taylor, Unfortunately, they are deceived putting their information out there. So 12-year-old Maurice Taylor Jr. was his younger son, named after him, and then the 13-year-old girl, Malika Taylor. Let me throw this at you guys real quick. Just look at the names, the screenshots that we believe is of the father that. So I want y'all, I'm gonna cover up my screen for a moment. Picture. I want y'all to look at that and tell me if these two pictures look similar. Do those look similar? Does that look like it could possibly be the same? Is it possible that that's the same? Right here. If that's true, then this is the individual, and also this one. This is hairline, just like me. It's receding like 4-year-olds. I was going to say about his name, Maurice Taylor Sr. sounds more like a black person's name rather than a Mexican person's name, okay? Now, authorities made the gruesome discovery while responding to reports of a possible gas at the property on the 45,000 block of Century Circle, where the children were separate bedrooms with lacerations and stab wounds. An adult female, his wife, not his mother, but I think it was his wife, the suspect's wife, and the mother transported to the local hospital for difficulty, a $2 million bond. He is due to appear in court on the alleged attack, and the incident remains under investigation. However, Taylor's personal trainer grown concerned over his well-being earlier in the week. So let's talk about that. Mr. Personal Trainer. The fitness trainer, who was described as mellow and reliable, had sparked concerns when he failed to show up for fitness sessions he had been running over Zoom. Howard Ryder, who had taken personal training sessions with Taylor for about 7 years, told the Times that he reported the gas leak Friday morning, leading paper. The Los Angeles County Fire Department were called to the single-story home at about 7:50 a.m., which I'll show you guys. It's only getting worse. I don't really know what else I can do right now, guys. I'm sorry about that. Let me see if I can maybe open it up from my phone. Let me see. Let's close those. Okay, we get back to where we were. Dean told the reporters at the scene on Friday morning. Of course, I already told you guys who they were, which was, he said. Another client told the Times that she had also been contacted the sheriff's department days earlier on Tuesday when Taylor failed to show for a session over Zoom. She said something was wrong when he didn't sit and failed to contact him and started contacting each other, voicing concerns that something had happened. I knew they weren't out of town. They didn't have money to travel. But anyway, they were afraid of carbon monoxide poisoning, or they were all dead from falling asleep. She described Taylor as so reliable, so responsive, and mellow. It's not clear whether or not deputies responded to the home on Tuesday when she... Okay, he was... Now, here's another thing you guys can confirm, because you can probably shirt, so maybe y'all can look that up. Kern told the Times that he worried that contentious. Now, the client said at this man, the wife, and I think the wife's name is Natalie, if I'm not mistaken. Then multiply that by 5. What I'm seeing is more and more people feeling desperate, and that can only have one result, which I don't like the fact that he said that, because I feel like you're giving people an out, like a reason. Often blacked out in a neighborhood where most others would stop copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright 17 U.S.C. 107. All right, again, if you guys are having buffering issues, and I think it very well could just be my internet. So all I can do is just at the next time around. So I'm sorry about that. I don't know if that'll help. Let me see real quick. Let me say thank you to Ashley Smith and Cash App you for being a voice for these babies. Thank you to Jimmy D. And again, thank you to Lynn. And also Sharon, if you're which was a very, very awesome donation. I don't know if that'll help. Up here. Let's talk about this. All right, here we go. Him outside, and I want y'all to notice that this is a black man. And maybe even like 30 seconds.
Sheriff's deputies responded out to the location and
not.
they're one of the adult local hospital just for difficulty breathing. The scene when we arrived.
First of all, the person in the hospital, so that it's almost like, and I don't want to use the word precisely decapitated, but that is the word that he used. So confirm a little bit more about this, but sources in the department telling me at this point that these are really severe wounds. There is nothing to do with their
13-year-old girl.
One appears to be a male, one appears to be a female, possibly some type of a sharp trauma.
Now on $2 million.
Kids that are deceased are black kids, and the fact that one of those black kids has the exact same name as the dad, I would believe his name, but it was some comedian who had COVID. That definitely was a person. But they put that on some websites thinking year-old girl, Malika Taylor, led me to believe that hurting children, hurting your own kids, for a proper response for anything that you're from there. But at least for now, this will be the only place that you'll be able to see this information, see this face and race, not the comedian. I researched on there, and I try to be very careful before I present you guys with some information. And this is who I believe to be Maurice Jewel Taylor, the individual who was responsible for decapitating and murdering his own children. And like I said, for that, Mr. Personal Trainer, this is that you were going through junior and 13-year-old for children first. And make sure, I'm sorry that it's, we're getting ready to go into part 2. Let me see what happens. I can see it's buffering. No, I don't think it's the new equipment. I actually, that it is.